Hello, everybody, and welcome to a another exciting group stage match here. We got Metallica versus Goofbrush. I was just hearing myself on the stream there, had to mute. But yeah, really exciting match we have coming up here. Two very top tier players are going to be starting off on Executioner. And we're going to try using this bot here. I think I'm about to give the countdown, hopefully.
Yeah, I think we're... Okay.
One sec. Just got a little technical difficulties with the bot here. All right, should we just do the countdown in the channel? Go back to the old school?
Yeah. I just... Both are ready, so we can give the countdown.
All right, I just pinged them, and as soon as they say they're ready, we'll give the countdown manually here.
Both already said ready, so I already gave the countdown. We'll be starting shortly.
Oh, you gave the countdown. My bad. Okay. All right, slight difficulties notwithstanding. Here we are, starting on Executioner. This match could go either way. Metallica is a player who has consistently had great performances and showings in tournament. Goof coming in the top seed in qualifying, no slouch whatsoever. I'm pretty excited to see what comes out here. The first match is going to be pretty important for dictating who gets the advantage the rest of the match.
Yeah. This track is, it may look long and straight, but it can kill you easily.
Yep, both looking pretty clean out of the gate. Goof, a little bonk, but doing okay. Hopefully we'll get sync in here in a moment. So key things on this track here, I guess, the tunnels, navigating them cleanly is very important. Ooh, Goof with a really sketchy entry.
That.
Yeah, that was a very sketchy entry to the tube. Oh, Metallica!
Oh, and Metallica crashes in the tube. This is where I like to say the track earns its name of Executioner.
Exactly. That is no bueno. Metallica with the fancy boost hold, though. That was cool. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Goof crash in the tunnel on his second or third laps, just because of, you know, it's tournament, mistakes happen. But if he doesn't, he definitely has a strong lead, strong advantage here.
It's hard to go deathless in that tube in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
118's really solid for Executioner full for a first lap.
Yeah, Goof looking very clean. He's had some close calls, but obviously has not crashed.
Yeah. Oh my god. The way Goofbrush enters that tube drop scares me.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I think the fact that he's done it twice in a row must mean that it's like consistent for him, but it is it's scary. That's the kind of thing that would usually, like, even if it's consistent in practice, would kill you in a tournament situation, but Goof having his way so far. Pulled up chat just in time to see some great puns there. Better execution indeed.
116, that's really solid for executioner full.
Yeah, that is very respectable IL pace there. Oh!
Oh,
Ouch.
crashes into the bottleneck.
That is absolutely just nerves. That's something that an experienced player will not die too often. It's in a lot of ways it's a pretty consistent part of the track. I mean, it's narrow, it's tricky, but it's pretty consistent. So nerves getting the better of Goofbrush there, and Metallica is still slightly behind. His death coming earlier on cost him more.
Oh, he crashes in the tube again.
Second death in the tube. Yeah, this is almost certainly Goofbrush's, unless he takes a bad crash.
And he's pretty much ran out of the easiest places to crash in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no rocks in this last tube, so hard to explode. Yeah, Goof will be taking this one.
And getting crash to the finish, 355 despite a death. Most players can't even get that deathless.
If I didn't know any better, I would say Goofbrush was attempting the crash boost finish there.
Still, with a death, 355, most players can't even get that deathless.
Does the winner or the loser do the first track permaban? Okay, yeah,
The train course ban from Goofbrush.
Metallica banning Bumpy's Breakers. Permaban. Goof
Scrapper's
returning
run
with
ban from Goofbrush.
interesting bans here. And Metallica banning SMR.
Nice one run.
Right.
I'm not surprised. The only band that doesn't, the first two bands do not surprise me. Boom to Train Course, Metallica is a menace on with the skip, and Bumpy's Breakers is a nasty skip if you know how to do it. Ben Bad, very typical band in the meta.
Yeah, so we see Metallica wanting to, have an off-meta race here. Maybe get Goofbrush off of, on his back foot, away from the bend comfort zone. And yeah, it's interesting. We see,
Doug Derby ban.
Yeah, Doug Derby ban from Goof. So Goof possibly anticipating Metallica picking some tricky skips, shenanigans on Doug Derby, I imagine, or he's just uncomfortable with off-meta full track pods for Doug Derby.
Milestar 100, no forces.
Interesting. Okay, so we're going to see, I suppose, a Bowles mirror on M100.
This is a track where it's most optimal at the lowest frame rate, at the lowest traction.
Yeah, so I imagine this is something that Metallica has practiced. Bowles on M100 is not incredibly different from Ben, but of course, your timings are different and your approach is a little different than it is with Ben.
But his traction at 2420 is just atrocious.
That was a 355, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry. Goof's second ban was, one sec. Let me get it here. Goof banned Scrapper's Run and Boot to Training Course. So, while Metallica, yeah, banned Bumpy's Breakers and Spice Mine Run. So yeah, we have.
Goof is on the ban pod.
Yeah, he should figure that out here. Maybe, yeah, maybe he has not realized that he's playing band pod. I have informed him.
Not a good sign, and possibly a sign that Metallica threw Goof off guard.
Yeah, so should see Goof pick a pod shortly. But yeah, so overall we're seeing Metallica take out some long, full track specialized tracks from contention, as well as Bumpy's Breaker skips, which is always a big, you know, uh, toss up basically. And we see Goof taking out, you know, shorter tracks that sort of might have some gimmicks to them, or that might depend on a single death. And yeah, seeing Goof switch to bowls, no surprise there.
And looked like he bumped up his traction slightly to handle him better.
Indeed.
Because 2420 Bulls is one of the worst handling pods in the whole game.
Yeah, definitely tricky to use. I can't catch Metallica's frame rate, but it looks like it's probably in the 30s or so.
Yeah, it looks low. Both of them look like they're low. They're sliding a lot.
So Metallica's ready, just waiting for Goof to prepare himself. And then we will be underway shortly here for the second match.
Changing his traction for bowls.
Yeah, it's tricky to get things right with bowls. All right, Goof's ready. All right, here we go. I'll deliver the countdown. All right, and we should see them get underway here in just a few seconds. So yeah, Metallica is an incredibly consistent, fast, top tier player of the game. On a playing field like this, it's really tough to say who's got the advantage here. Metallica has lots of tournament experience, whereas Goofbrush does not. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting race here.
Yeah. Metallica, along with King Beamdip, have participated in every tournament since we started it in 2019. Same with Celestialar. Participated in every annual tournament 2019 to today. And we're off! And this track is also based off of Sonoma Raceway in real life.
Indeed. So Metallica actually taking some wide-ish lines off the bat here. Not looking as well practiced as I thought that he might, but you know, certainly not racing slowly. So
Here we come to the part that this really decides everything, the hairpin.
yeah, both players with a
through.
pretty clean hairpin. Goof is ahead. The sync being slightly off. Goof came in with about a 1 3/4 second faster first lap. Different heat, but yeah, Goof. Well, actually, yeah, it's pretty neck and neck looking at their heats. Goof may be slightly ahead, but not by much. All right, nice sync coming in.
Goof looking like he's taking more risk-averse lines and maxing out his heat. Metallica's a bit underheating.
Ooh, Goof bonks, loses a lot of speed coming out of that hairpin, whereas Metallica took it. He had a slight bonk, but he barely lost any speed. So Metallica has a significant advantage just in raw base speed here, coming into lap 3.
About even.
Yeah, Goof does have higher heat.
Yeah.
But Metallica
is underheating. I think he is not
Yeah.
used to going this low with traction.
Yeah, Metallica took a bonk there. He does end up low heat. Yeah, Goof ends up bonking again out of the hairpin. We'll see if it matters here.
148 with Bulls.
Wow. Did not end up mattering. I'm not sure how Goof managed to make up that time, but that was pretty incredible.
I feel like Metallica was so greasy, he was taking wider lines because he was just swinging all over the place, while Goof was just very straight and steady.
Yeah, Goof with just like superior execution outside of the hairpin, just slightly better lines. Even though, and I think toward the end, maybe the heat wasn't there for Metallica. I didn't catch it exactly, but yeah, that's huge that Goof has just beat Metallica on his own pick. And we already got next bands coming out. Metallica band's been again. Goofbrush band's
Doug Derby again.
Yep. So got a repeat of last race's bands. So where's Metallica going to take us now? We could see a force. We could see Metallica take us somewhere we know he's really comfortable, like Inferno Skips, or perhaps another track that Metallica specializes in.
I feel like Goof kept Inferno on the tail because I think he stands a chance against Metallica Inferno.
Yeah, we do. We have seen that Goof has been posting some Inferno skips times recently. We know he's been practicing on it. But Metallica has a lot of work to do. He's got to beat Goof on at least one of his picks, probably two to take the match. Or yeah, no, on literally two of his picks. Metallica's typing. He's thinking. He's thinking hard. All right, we have Metallica picking Sebulba's Legacy skips and using his second force simultaneously banning Bowles and Elon Mack.
This leaves Mahonic, Mars Glow, and Bullseye Navarre.
Wow. Yeah, very interesting choice here. Metallica using both forces at once. SL, yeah. So I expect to see a Mars mirror here. Mars is pretty straightforward in terms of executing that, that skip, that jump over the hairpin or the bowl section rather. I'm not actually sure if does Mars, sim faster than Mahonic on this track.
I am not so sure. He might be because of the bends.
Might pull
Why
up
is he
my.
on Doug Derby?
I think we'll see him. Yeah, there we go. He's switching. I'm gonna pull up my trusty Botto simulator as we wait for the players to warm up and get ready here.
Just as you fought a Mars mirror.
So yeah, Mars does in a simulated environment, Mars does come in about 7/10 faster than Mahonic. And he's also just a fairly straightforward pod to handle, as many casual players of the game know.
Yeah. He's also what I like to call the glitch master because he's usually the best at pulling off most of the glitches, or if he's not the fastest, often the most reliable.
Yeah, he's got a high hover height and high traction, and he's a very wide pod, which all in all makes him quite adept at pulling off technical skips like Boon to Training or Duck Derby or Inferno.
Also, a really agile pod too. He's more agile and pod's much narrower than him.
So, yeah, Metallica's got to be sweating here. I mean, his back's against the wall. He's gonna have no more forces after this, and it's gonna be really tough to beat Goof on Goof's picks if he even manages to take this track with a pick that we got to assume that Metallica's, if not prepared specifically, is very comfortable on. So. Goof looking somewhat sketchy on the bull skip there, but pulling it off in warm-ups. Metallica, yeah, looking a little bit cleaner on that skip, doing it more safely, I would say. Less, more clearance between him and the cliff there. So this is only our second match of Group 1 today. So placings in this group are still very up in the air. All right, I'm going to deliver the countdown real quick. So Goof obviously looking strong in the group, but you know, still a lot to see before we can guess how this group is going to shake out in terms of placement. And yep, the countdown has been delivered, so we should see him get underway any moment. And yeah, Mike, the simulator is it's accurate for it's assuming the track is a straight line, and I'm not sure it accounts for fast and slow terrain or skips or anything like that, obviously. But in a vacuum, it is accurate.
Good way to put it, because winding tracks like this
Yeah, I mean the fastest pod is not the fastest pod on a track like Gravine or FMR or here because it's very turny. You gotta know what to do.
Yeah. Well,
And
meta-wise, Ben is the fastest on all tracks but Gravine Gateway and Fire Mountain Rally, but who's second, third, or fourth varies wildly depending on the track.
and we do see Metallica starting off with a modest lead here, looking clean on the skip. Goofbrush clean as well.
Playing by he wasn't going full throttle. Metallica took that full throttle.
Oh, I missed it if Goof braked or came in a little
I
slower.
think he braked, took off the accelerator because now you can see Metallica is slightly ahead, but the skip can bite you really hard here.
Yeah, definitely. And yep, comfortable. Well, I wouldn't say
Metallica
comfortable.
almost crashed. Manages
Yeah,
to salvage it.
another clean skip execution. Goof looking a little bit sketchier, but still pulls it off. The gap between them definitely narrowed on that second lap, but Metallica holding on to his modest lead.
Yeah, it's about half a second. Oh, that was very close for Metallica.
Ooh, as Goof bonks pretty badly, loses a lot of speed.
Let's see if he nails it. Metallica has it.
Yeah,
Metallica nails it.
Metallica took a very safe route on that last skip, and Goof exploded, so this will go in Metallica's favor. And yeah, players commenting that Goof died, but Metallica would have claimed victory even if Goof hadn't bonked severely or crashed on the last shortcut there. So nice, excellent racing from Metallica there, which that's no surprise given that he used two forces to pick that track and pod combination. So
Yeah.
and looks like we're seeing a Bowls ban come out from Goof. Um,
Inferno
so
ban! Ooh, that's interesting.
yeah, something of a twist. Metallica banning Inferno. Never thought I would see the day. So this will be Goof's first pick here. So we'll see what he comes up with. Goof's got forces to burn. He's got full tracks where he has the advantage on paper. Um, so he should be feeling pretty comfortable. We'll see what he goes for.
Run back on Saboba without a force.
Interesting. Metallica commenting, "Oh damn." Metallica not excited to do some Ben Sebulba's Legacy full track action. I'm gonna make
Almost
sure
like a
that
revenge pick here.
I'm gonna make sure they're both aware that the skip is actually yeah they know because Metallica just picked it, so we're good. Just verifying because there was a rule change between this tournament and last tournament, which made that last bowl jump a skip. So in the full track Sebulba's Legacy, which we are about to go to, players will not be able to do that. They will have to take different routes. And it will be interesting to see if Metallica is familiar with the meta route with Ben full track on this, since it involves sort of an unorthodox you know jump down into the tunnel, which most players would think is slow, but it sort of ends up being faster in a full track situation. Oh yeah, the pod ban was Bulls. So, despite Goof picking this, um, Metallica is no slouch. Like this race, I expect it to, assuming that Metallica, doesn't make any catastrophic mistakes in the route. I think that this race should come within the margin of, one death's worth of time loss. And Metallica,
Okay,
yeah, Metallica's taking the route, which is actually slightly slower than. Well, actually, I missed it. Did Goof go down in the tunnel in warm-ups, or did they both stay on top?
Goof crashed, but they both took the upper road.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, I mean, as far as I am aware, going down into that tunnel is faster. It may be more risky. Maybe that in a tournament situation they don't want to do it, or I could be wrong. But yeah, we'll see a pretty straightforward route from both players here. It looks like just taking the high road. Yeah, that is true. As not comments that it is very easy to die in that tunnel. Um, so definitely some risk there. And yeah, we are just waiting for Goof to ready up here, and then we will be underway.
Both are ready.
All right, countdown's given. Should see him get started any moment. Yeah, the warm ups can get kind of intense to watch as well. So yeah, especially yeah, they're both taking the same route. I would expect this to be within a 3 or 4 second difference, um, with no deaths. Probably even closer than that.
Here we go.
Yep. Both pairs looking pretty clean so far. Neck and neck.
Ooh, that was a close call for Metallica.
Yeah, this is going to be really close.
Looks like goofbrush took slightly tighter lines. About a second off, just under a second.
Yeah, Metallica with a bit lower heat though. It is quite challenging to manage your heat in some sections on this track. The fact they're taking the high road makes it a bit easier, but yeah, you definitely do not want to underheat on this track.
Oh man, this is close.
Yeah, both players back at similar heat. Metallica perhaps a little bit ahead, but it is very close.
No, he's slightly behind, but the gap is closing.
Man, yeah, this is going to be extremely close. Same heat, same spot on the Goof, maybe slightly ahead now.
Ooh.
This is crazy. This is too close to call. Uh, Goof lower heat. He's got to find a way to use that heat. Metallica looking. Oh, Metallica bonks.
That bonk probably.
Oh, that is disastrous. That is the absolute worst time to bonk, and unquestionably decided the race there. That is wild.
Match point for goofbrush.
Man, what a brutal bonk. A more brutal bonk there is not. Um, that will put us at match point for Goofbrush here. All he's got to do is close this one out. Man, you got to feel for Metallica there. That was his to lose. I feel like that cost him the margin being about 4/10. I feel like losing a boost costs you about that much. Um, Super rough. So, um, Metallica gonna have to come up with something here. He has no forces left. He comes out with a
Bulls
bold ban.
ban.
So he's gonna want to take Goof to a track where he's comfortable, full track, and Goof's gonna be trying to ban that track here. But I don't know what that is. I don't know where Metallica wants to take us, and I don't know what Goof wants to ban here.
He can take it back.
Yeah,
Okay,
as
he's
long
taking
as
his
Goof
bulls
allows it.
bans back.
Yeah, just retconning a ban there. Banning Ben. Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. Metallica's scared of Goof, Ben full track, which makes sense. Even though, as we've seen, it can be an extremely close race between the two of them. So, and Metallica hasn't looked as clean with his off meta pods as he has with Ben, being honest. So, interesting picks. Goof banning Doug Derby again.
Mongaza Speedway.
Wow. This is going to be something. It's going to be a Bowls mirror, I believe.
Yeah. Off meta with Mongaza Speedway.
Yeah. I mean this is this is the gauntlet. It's not literally the gauntlet, but it is a gauntlet. It's the shortest track. It's extremely intense. The margin usually comes down to. I mean, if you die, you've basically lost unless the other player dies, obviously. But
And and meta wise, this is probably the most mastered track in the game.
yeah, maybe I didn't mean the gauntlet. Maybe I meant like the Thunderdome. I'm not sure what metaphor I was reaching for there, but you know, it's a duel. It's a duel of the fates, if you will.
I mean, you use Bulls, Elon Mack, Mahonic, Mars.
And we do see Goofbrush in the Botto's junkyard pulling up the simulator here, showing us that Bulls is indeed the second fastest, followed by Beto and Elon.
Welcome to Otto's shop.
Oh, he's picking. Is he picking Mars?
I don't believe so. I believe he's just changing his traction around.
Okay,
But
Metallica is going with Bulls. Bulls mirror.
oh, yep, this is an interesting match point because it's basically, it's not a toss up, um, but it's, it's just a track where anything can happen, really. Which, in that sense, it's a good pick for Metallica. And if he's looking pretty steady with Bull, so I mean, if he's practiced this, then he could easily get Goof on the back foot here.
Metallica is ready. We're waiting on Goof now.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. All right, they're both ready.
Here we go. That has been given. This is a very short track. Even with these players, even with Bulls, it's going to be under a minute. I suspect it's going to be one very tense minute for Metallica.
Unquestionably.
Here we go.
And yeah, this could absolutely go either way.
Okay. Goof starting. Oh, we're good. Here we go. I think both are ready now. Here we go.
All right, match point. Here we go. Oh, Goof bonking
Ooh,
pretty severely.
strikes.
He will underheat there slightly, and it's now very. It's now a Goofbrush will not be able to fire, so he will not be able to use the rest of his heat through lap 3. So if Metallica does not bonk, he should. Oh, yeah, he should. Should be
This
able to
is
win
like-
it here.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
the
Goof-
nerfs are really kicking in for both.
Yeah, Goof actually ending up with higher heat somehow, and yeah, he does take it.
42-71.
Wow,
What did?
man,
Oh
that was
my
insane.
God. Goof wins by just under a half a second. Oh my god, that's close.
Wow, yeah. So Goof somehow managed. I couldn't see how Metallica lost heat there. It may be just be that his boosts were a little bit sketchy.
I saw also he took some wire lines. He started wobbling where Goof didn't wobble.
Yeah, somehow just in that lap 3, Goof managed to just snatch victory from the jaws of defeat there. All right, so I think we'll try and get both players in for an interview in a second here. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a crazy finish. That'll have to be synced up in the VOD for the viewers at home to really see how that played out. Um, welcome Goof, welcome Metallica. Congratulations, what a finish! Really, those last two tracks, just insane. The margins, very exciting.
Yeah, that was much closer than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest.
Yeah. My first tournament match like this, and it has to be against such a strong opponent.
And you have many more coming.
Yeah. The group stage is definitely not easy this year.
Yeah, it's a group of death for sure. Every opponent is scary, which, you know, despite the 4-1 victory, Metallica showed that he's very scary.
Yeah, those picks, banning Ben every time.
I'm glad I changed my mind at the last moment and you guys let me have it.
Yeah.
Because I had prepared MGS with balls, but I wasn't very sure about it. So
Yeah.
for a second, I thought about banning balls and going for executioner run back, but then I thought that was probably not gonna work, so I changed it to this.
Oh, so just doing executioner ban again.
Yeah, I thought we were just gonna do. I thought we could do executioner with Ben again and see what happens, but
Yeah.
like maybe that wouldn't be such a good idea. So I changed my mind.
Yeah, executioner I got pretty like consistent. I died in our race, so that was unfortunate.
Where did you die?
I think it was to the do you know those silver pillars like near the start of the race where you go through? They're also on Gauntlet.
Right, yeah.
I like to call that
Yeah.
the bottleneck.
Yeah, very weird death.
Yeah, I chalked that one up to nerves when I saw it because up to that point you were looking very strong.
And you pull the time deathless that most. You pull the time with a death goof that most players can't even get deathless on executioner.
Yeah. That track is pretty like deceptive on how hard it is.
My running theme with that track is the tube drop in that tube is where the track earns its name of executioner.
Yeah. Did you see that I didn't go for any jump stress?
On Sebulba's Legacy?
No. On Executioner into that
That
tube.
was so scary.
Oh yeah, that was terrifying. Yeah, I'm not sure how you managed that all 3 laps.
For some reason, the jump always kills me, but this strat that's supposed to be harder just never kills me ever, so I just went for it.
Yeah, so Metallica, Goof just drove. He just drove straight into the tube in the floor there, and did not explode.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's supposed to be like safer or not. I watched Damiray doing it, so I thought about trying it, but the jump feels so reliable to me that I just stuck with that.
Yeah, it's not that much faster, but for some reason for me it's safer.
Yeah, I will say, you know, Metallica, you looked very strong on the one track where we did see that bin mirror on Sebulba's Legacy, and I was a little surprised to see you go with the Bulls with the off-meta strats again in Race 5, but yeah.
Yeah, how close were we in Sebulba's Legacy? I had a little bonk on the final straight, so I lost the boost, and I'm not sure if that cost me the race.
So Boba's Legacy full track and Mongaza Speedway, you were both off by only 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, it was 4/10, which we'd have to, you know, do some math, but I think without that final bonk, you would have taken that race.
But yeah,
Crazy.
But yeah, it
Yeah.
was. But yeah, the last two races were down to 0.4 of a second.
I'm glad it was this close. Since this is your first match, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I was actually a bit sad that your match with Yam didn't happen last week because I would have used that to get a better idea.
Yeah. Sorry, you couldn't
Well,
have
now
any
you will be
intel.
seeing. But yeah, about 4.5 hours, we're gonna be back pod racing with Yam versus Dom.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, we'll be doing. Yeah, that's gonna be a scary one. I mean, we've been saying it all day, but Group 1, it's a scary group.
Yeah, talk about a first race as well, or a first match against Dom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I don't even know what to expect or say about it, but yeah, we'll see.
I expect you to pull out some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I got some stuff, but we'll see what I want to pull out. I'm not
Okay.
sure yet. But Metallica, I mean, great racing though. Like, despite the loss, like, we saw some really, really, some really fun, tense, close races, and I think you have a great chance in this group.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, even though I lost 4-1. It was pretty close, and I'm glad my strategy didn't really go to waste. My pick with all the extra bands worked out in the end,
Yeah.
And one thing I want to ask though for goofbrush is, how did you decide your permabands? Were they random or?
So I permabanned Scrappers Run and Bunter Training.
Yeah.
Bunter Training because of the skip. I can do it, and I have a pretty good time there. It's just I don't think I'm that consistent. And you have a pretty good full track time there as well. And then Scrappers Run. I'm not too great at Scrappers Run. So that was a pretty good ban. And you also have a good time there as well.
Yeah, that was actually a very good choice for you because I have, in my little strategy notes, I did write down Bunta training course skips as one option and Scrappers Run as another option for today. So that's why in the final race I wasn't really sure what to pick and I was undecided.
Yeah. I was heavily deciding Inferno because of Inferno skips.
Also, I was a little thrown off by you banning Inferno.
Yeah, actually.
Because of the full track, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because of the full track, and also, to be honest, because of the skip, I feel like you're really good at it. So even if I were to pick it, it doesn't feel like a guaranteed victory at all. So I wouldn't want to waste a force on something like that, to be honest.
That's a pretty big compliment coming from you.
Yeah. Also, for the past lap, I'm not sure. I don't remember if MFGs are allowed in the tournament, but I was also thinking about that. You're the only one who has the fast lap in there with that.
That would be interesting, and they are allowed in skips in tournaments. So
yeah, I thought you forced that one.
It requires 2 forces for like a MFG fast lap, so it's quite expensive. But I could theoretically could use that.
I do hope we see some MFGs or other, even AI shenanigans come out. It's going to be kind of hard to, justify the forces to do it, but it would be great to see. So
maybe you can do some AI shenanigans today.
We'll see. I guess we will go ahead and wrap things up here. Congratulations again, Goof, on the strong 4-1. And condolences, Metallica. But you know, again, I'm sure we'll see you pull out some great stuff to come. So
Yeah, thanks.
all right. Well, like
Yeah. Take care,
like
everyone.
Draco. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Draco.